All right. Welcome in to the half. My name's Aaron Montgomery, and this is Eric Campbell. Eric, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Busy, but happily so, It's
Yep.
better than
Yeah.
the other option, as I always say.
Exactly. Well, you're always busy. We kept you busy on two regular guys just a moment ago. So
There
thanks
was
for
a
all the.
lot. You guys were throwing a lot of links and stuff at me during the half or during the two other guys today. So yeah.
Yeah, we were
Definitely got busy.
testing you out. Well, you did so good the week before when we were at DAX with the fact that not only were you working the back end from the trade show from your room,
Sure.
your hotel room, but you're also live on screen with us. And Terry and I had a couple of drinks at that point, so we were having fun.
Yeah, this is true. It wasn't, and I will say it was an evening show. Just so you guys don't be like, Friday morning at 9 a.m. they're having drinks. Not quite,
Good
not
point.
quite. It was
Good
a
point.
Thursday evening show, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say from the hotel room with internet that was not awesome. Yeah, that was fun, but it worked out. It
Yeah,
wasn't too bad.
it turned out just fine, and very good point there. Yes, it was Thursday evening. We'd
It
had a
was
long
Thursday
day of
evening.
setting up. You guys had a long
Yeah.
day of travel, so it
Oh
was
yeah.
nice to just be hanging out with friends and grab a couple of beers and relax and back to that trade show vibe of just not commiserating, but just kind of have an opportunity to share and talk and be around other people that are in a similar space as you, and that's just such a cool experience, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it was good. I will say there's definitely stuff that's different about this season. I am looking forward to a season that is not quite like this one. All the uncertainty, and I'm going to say, on my part, I'm dealing with some cancellations that happened to me around Fort Worth. So, uh, yeah, it's sometimes difficult. Things like literally just getting your accommodations, your parking, your everything else is just a little harder this year. So I'll say that it's more like that. The technicalities were hard, even though the people were great.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's what I didn't love. The traveling wasn't great. That stuff wasn't great. But when we got there, the interactions with people were really solid, and the people who were there were serious and wanted to wanted to be educated, wanted to learn about products, wanted to move forward, and that was cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you completely, Eric. Those challenges are certainly real and
Yeah.
come into the decision making process for people. But I would go and say, on like you just said, on the other end of that, though, it's been worth it in a lot of ways.
Oh,
I
for sure.
obviously had a different travel experience. We're just sticking with the Midwest here, so I load up our car
Yeah.
and drive. But
Oh,
we've
no, my issues are all hotels. So for everybody who hearing me complain,
gotta love it.
air travel is rough and it's always rough, but that's a normal year for me. Out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, where yes, we have an international airport, but I connect 2 times to get anywhere. Air travel for me always sucks. But my thing has been like weird cancellation stuff like that. I'm now scrambling for a hotel for a couple of days, and it's not fun 1 week out.
Really?
So that's
All
yeah.
right. Afterwards, Eric, I've actually,
We'll
I at least can help
chat.
you with one night, by the way.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see, man. I may have to work on it, but yeah,
All right.
I'll
Well,
say this though: when we got there, the people, like I said, people were really engaged. And what I was also surprised by, I think if I would have had 2 more sessions of classes in different skill levels, I could have filled all of them,
yeah.
even with the amount of people that were there. People were there to get whatever they could get. And that also meant any vendors that were there got all the business that was possible they could have had, especially because there just wasn't a lot of competition. I think that was real.
Yeah.
Whatever reasons people took to not show is up to them, and I totally get it. But it was like whoever did show up got all the business that was there, and it was
Yep.
interesting to see.
The success is in the action, right? You got to take action. You got to show up. You got to.
It's a tough call, and I get it, but it was very much like there was some interesting stuff going on around the
Definitely.
selection of who was there.
Yep. All right. Well, let's check in with everybody here. We're here to chat with you guys that are tuned in. Thank you guys so much for being here. So we've got Chuck. Good afternoon, sir. Great to see you here. And Rich, feels like I was just watching you. Well, now you get Eric too. So
yeah. Hey, greatly improved.
Yep. Crystal, good afternoon. Happy Friday to you. And thank you very much for that really awesome 5 things that we just got to share.
if you didn't see the two other guys, check out the 5 things that Crystal sent us about setting up your retail space were very good. So
yeah, really good
stuff.
share there. And Ramona, good morning and good to see you both. Yep, great to see you again, Ramona.
Great to see you too.
And
Yosta,
thank you. I was so close. I almost had it. Yosta, good to see you. Yeah, I'm getting better. We'll get there. And then Jeff says Matt and I are driving down.
Yeah, I'm going to be driving out myself too. So that's honestly, I think that was good for me to take control of that a little bit. I'm happy to do that.
Todd, what's up, man? Good morning, 50%ers. I like that.
Oh, there you go.
Halfers, 50%ers. There we go.
I just don't know what the other 50% is or what that for sure means. That makes me a little concerned.
Hey, you know what? Somewhere we're we're on some side of the aisle that's who knows which 50% that is, but if you are here, you're on the right half of this whole thing. There we go.
You don't know where the Venn diagram is, but there's an overlap somewhere of all the halves that we are.
Yeah. Bill, checking in, and thank you for being here. Hello to you as well,
Bill.
sir.
Good to see you here.
Yeah, great to see you.
Nice.
All right, guys. So this is Q&A, right? Anything you guys want to talk about? I shared a couple of posts out there this morning on Facebook that we could even talk about why Eric's so darn handsome or smart, or anything you guys want to talk about. And it's totally he hates it when I do this to him, but I'm going to do it anyways. Crystal says, I didn't catch 2 regular guys live today. I'll catch up on that one after this. Happy to contribute. Awesome. Yeah, nice. Definitely. Yeah. Check that out, especially at the end of it there. We share your 5 things. And also, Crystal, check your email. I replied to an email that you had sent me about the 5 keys. So let me know if you got that. It should have come through, but you're going to like it, hopefully.
That's what we'll do. Let's just catch up. Everybody who has an email that I owe you, just go ahead and get on the app, and I'll just
share it now.
Now. As long as you don't care that I answer you in public.
That's right. All right. Well, what else do you guys got for us? Like I said, we can talk about anything. Obviously, we've got you covered with embroidery. When I say we, I mean this guy here. Because I still am pretty excited about my 15 minutes of experience, but I'm finding out that I might not have everything I need in just that 15 minutes. So you
might not. I mean, considering one of my sessions is about 4 hours that I did recently. And that's just
I also feel like I learn from you all the time too. So, I don't know, but yes, I'm far.
It's just like osmosis from being near me at a trade show, convention center, bar, or whatever. I don't want to say. Right. I don't want to say that, but that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm not an expert, but I am friends with Erich Campbell, so that kind of puts me in rarefied air.
That's what I have to do with your success training. I just go, well, I know a guy. I know a guy who can help you through this.
All right. Lyndon checking in. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoying the show from North Carolina. Awesome.
Nice.
Excellent.
Hopefully. By the way, I know this is not to bring down the mood, but my heart's going out to everybody who suffered with the weather out east and in the Northeast and down south. Everybody who was in the path of the weather. That is horrible to see some of the bad stuff come out of it. Great to see the people who are coming out to support, and just, hearts are with you guys.
Yep, definitely challenge. And as with all challenges, though, we have the choice to overcome, and I think you guys are doing great. So Jeff says I need at least 20 minutes of experience. Okay. All right.
I'll say this right now, with the labor market as it is, I'm sure there are people who will take your 15 minutes of embroidery experience and throw you on a machine.
I kind of just, no matter what I'm doing, I just know in the back of my mind that I've got that safety net, right? If things don't work out, I can run an embroidery machine.
You run an embroidery machine, you'll be fine.
Somebody.
I think we'll take you on for sublimation first, because you have just a little bit more information there.
Okay. All right. All right. So Katie says, good morning at doctors and trying to. All right.
And trying to listen. Oops.
And trying to listen. Yes. There we go. We got that.
Hopefully nothing serious, and hopefully you have a good appointment. But hey,
it's
the way to go.
Yep.
Take care of things, folks.
Take care of yourself. Appreciate that.
Yes. Todd says.
I'm going all in on embroidery. I thought, Todd, you were going to buy the embroidery machine. I told Katie Wubin from Trouble Me Not to reach out, and she just needs to kind of get the details so you can place that order for your machine, right?
Yeah, except for, and by the way, had some talk with Corey about that, about embroidery and machines and buying stuff. And yeah, that's one of those, that's one of those difficulties. We don't always need to get into everything, every kind of decoration. We can also just become brokers and not buy machines. I know Katie doesn't want to hear that, but you know, if you want to buy a machine, she's a great person to deal with. You know, I deal with Andrea over at CSK quite a bit. There's lots of wonderful people to support you with getting your embroidery machine if you want to go all in.
Yeah,
hey, totally. I might teach you something.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Todd did share that I kept Corey away from the booth all weekend.
Hey, embroidery is an awesome thing to do, but you want to have a market to do it first. Like That's everything else, prepare yourself for the market first and have a concept of who you're selling to before you buy equipment.
Totally. So Ramona shared, isn't the idea of sharing that inventory overstock awesome? Can you post a link in the group? And yes, I can.
And yes, we can. I will handle some of that too.
Nope, I got it. I think. Well, I've just got it in the comments there. So.
Well, I got it on the banner. So there
you go. Comments, banner, you got it all coming at you. I do think it's a fantastic idea. Yeah. And like we talked about on Two Regular Guys, if you didn't get a chance to catch that, you know, we brought this up, and the only way that this works is by everybody participating on both sides, right? If you need something, go in there and reach out and work together with people. This is not a take advantage, you know, make a mint a fortune. This is an opportunity to share together. You don't need to be hoarding. You know, this is just like the toilet paper, right? You don't need to hoard the black sweatshirts in your storage unit, Todd.
But if you guys don't know, anybody who hasn't caught on to this, this was started by Nathan Lieber, and he put together this. Essentially, it's a live Google stock sheet. It's a spreadsheet that has everybody's dead stock, so you can sell to other decorators while we're dealing with these stock problems. So if you have a stock overrun, you have something left over, dead stock sitting on a shelf that you're not selling yourself, check out bit.ly/stocksheet1. You can put it up there with details. Just keep the formatting clean. And don't price gouge or you will be deleted. So yeah.
Yes, yeah. Like I said, this is about the bigger picture and just helping our industry get through a pretty bumpy time. I mean, I can't tell you how often I've heard people, and so I feel terrible. You know, just hours and hours and hours of just trying to find, you know, enough to pull together one order for a customer, you know, at different locations. And so the challenges are real, but let's come up with solutions. And I think this is a great way to do that. It's kind of that sharing economy idea. I still haven't picked out the perfect analogy for it, but I keep wanting to use like Airbnb or Uber or something like that, where it's a disruptor. We're coming together to help in a situation.
There you go.
So, all right. And then Ramona says, I think it should be an ongoing thing. I think, and I agree with that. Why not? Right.
No, it's a great way to use dead stock. I think also, you know, helping each other out is fantastic. And the other thing I'm going to tell you though, we have had this problem before, and I can't tell you how many times I've talked to decorators and they're not offering the stock. They're not offering their dead stock at the beginning. They're waiting for the order and then scrambling for it. And even if it seems like it's not an option your customer is going to go for, no problem. Just put it out there. Hang it out there. Go with the ask. Just say, hey, I do have some stock like this. It's on hand if it's more important to you to get things quickly. If it's more important to you to get it right now. If it's more important to you that if it's your logo and not the garment that's, you know, what you're dead set on. I was surprised back when we offered dead stock how much of it moved just on price basis alone, where people would completely change their order to the stock we had.
Yeah.
It's surprising how many people are willing, or yes, they have ideas about what they want, but there may be, especially if you're dealing with certain things like when we were doing fundraising people or people who had, you know, where they're really budget conscious, sometimes that really turns out well. Yeah. So, like I said, do the ask.
Yep.
Do the ask. Make sure.
Yep. So Jeff says D-stash. Yeah, that's
D-stash.
That's it. And then Jeff says, I have about 100 Richardsons. Customer canceled their order.
Gold, so man.
Yeah,
gold.
Exactly. That needs to go on to that sheet there, Jeff. If
won't stay on there long.
It won't stay on there long for sure. All right. So Candy says, I figured out I can listen to you on my wireless earbuds while running my machine. So cool. I like that. I'll be watching the take up during my elliptical workout later this afternoon. It's great to keep on track with my daily tasks and still listen in. Awesome. That's a great job, Candy. It's good.
Happy to have you doing it.
And then I didn't mean to skip this, Todd. Sorry. Talking about the embroidery machine, he said, I just want to know how it works, not do the work. Well, okay. I just want to play and use it for name drops on stockings for a few weeks a year.
Hey, I get that. Trust me, I want more equipment than I need for sure. I'm not in production right now, and I want all the equipment. And I'll tell you the truth of the matter is, now that I have a house, it's been hard not to go, well, can I fit in the lease for a big machine back here? There's a space behind me that I'm pretty sure I could set up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So yeah, the third bedroom shop may be coming from me at some point.
Well, you do have access to that ZSK, though, right?
I have a ZSK machine at the shop, but like literally, I'm about to put one in the house too, because that's I get it, believe me. But
you could just crane the one from the office out and into your house, right?
If nobody knows, I really did have to have a crane in to lift that machine up to the second floor. So yeah, no, the concept of doing that would be really difficult. I don't think I want to. I don't ever want. I hate to say it. When we have to, as I know we will have to get that machine out of there again, I'm not looking forward to it. That was
may want to be on vacation that week, Eric. It's just a little.
Considering I was the only one there for that one at that time, out of the office staff. Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
It was fun.
Just get that scheduled and then make sure that you've also scheduled your vacation for that week. And
no, I have to admit, I need to
get
on the machine more. I need to absolutely be working on that machine more and everybody has pointed out. I agree. I've been telling everybody over and over and over again, the produce of digitizers is not your file. It is the embroidery. I need to get a hands-on with some of the concepts I've been working on. So you'll see more of that as we get done with show season.
Nice.
Next week is my last biggie. So that's
there you go. So you kind of get
season ending.
Get to have a nice big exhale and then get into some of those things. Yep. So Ramona suggested, Ramona suggested, Todd, you should contract it out. Yep. There you go. And then Ramona says, Eric, 4 embroidery machines here, all full size. And so and he's sewing embroidery home machine. So got all the toys.
Yes. And Lisa says, I can't imagine moving the ZSK again. I imagine it frequently.
Is it imagining it or is it having nightmares?
It's anxiety. It's panic attacks, I think. That's what those are called.
As you know, as you've heard me say, Eric, fear is just an acronym, right? It's a fantasized experience appearing real. So
believe me, I've been living in that. Between that and also like finding out that my arrangements for trade show, my trade show hotel fell through. Yeah, no, I'm in fear right now. I just have to get past it.
All right, you'll get past it. You need to just imagine a better outcome instead. So there
we go.
We can go through this. After we're done here.
I hear there's a guy who could help me with these things.
Yeah, I've got a little presentation that I need to work on anyhow, so we can practice. All right. So Kathleen says I'm on filling up spare bedroom number 2. There you go, Kathleen.
Yes.
And I have a call into Andrea. So
no, I'm going to say
Andrea is from ZSK.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
ZSK out, not seen if you know them that way, but ZSK USA out there in St. Louis. What I'm going to say is, man, that ZSK machine, because if you guys know me, I've worked on a lot of old, dead, broken machines. Like that's just when you first come up and you just start at whatever shop, you don't know what they have. And I did a lot of that. Yeah. When we got in the Sprint and I turned that sucker up to 1,000 stitches a minute and it was just like humming along and nothing rattled. There was just a part of me, even all these years later, I'm like, man, that's pretty awesome. Those machines, the big iron, the ZSKs really are fine equipment, I gotta say.
You know, I just had a total realization, Eric. So one of the things so people might know, I've done, I don't know, close to maybe 500 or more trade shows in my 20-year career. It's probably somewhere in that number. And before I knew Eric as well as I did, I actually used to just really despise embroidery. And the reason is because I couldn't tell you how many trade shows I was at where we were next to some embroidery company and they just had their machines running from like the moment we set up until I felt like it was still in my head for like a week later. And it was just like chunk, 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 chunk. But then I was just had this realization as you were talking about that. I go, I remember being next to Andrea a few times too and not having that same experience. I didn't make the connection until right now. So that's
it's not, and I'm not saying every company like ZSK is the only ones who have quiet machines. They don't. I mean, other major companies do, but the thing is a lot of us who've worked on either just badly maintained machines, or I'll be honest, the cheaper machines that aren't put together to find enough tolerances, they rattle. And if they're not set up right, they rattle too. And I'm just going to be honest and say like, There are times that I've worked trade shows. I haven't worked nearly as many as Aaron, but there are times where I've been set up next to a booth, and I'm going to tell you, I know for sure I was next to embroidery machines that weren't going to run well forever because they sound like they're about to rattle themselves apart.
Yeah. I can still experience this, and it's been years since I've been next to one, and I can still it's vivid. So,
I can hear which brand is running from a distance. When I walk down the trade show aisle, I can hear which one's running, and I pretty well know which ones they are. I don't want to say that,
but that's a true story. Remember, this was a few years back when you and I were walking around Impressions Expo. We actually had camera. We were doing some fun things, but I remember vividly, we were like coming around to turn, and Eric's like, "Oh, that's a such and such." I'm like, how in the heck? And then, let's go look at this because I know I can hear. I'm like, what?
I was like, we're trying to find a booth, and I was walking to it by the sound. Yeah, it's for real.
Yeah. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Todd says, I know about contracting it out. I just want to play. He does like to play.
I'm going to say this though. If you ever really do want it that bad, I've told people this too. If you can figure it into your budget and you just want to try it, I mean, you can do that, but then build it from there. Say play, get really good at it and build it from there. It's just hard because like we're talking about profit, we're talking about business, but I don't ever want somebody to not embroider because they have to contract it out.
Yeah.
I've told people before, if you want it to be, you can have a decoration hobby and still be a decorator and then turn it into something. Because I've known tons of people who start out that way. So I don't ever want people to think like, if you're not making money, don't do it.
No,
you can do it, but just realize what you're getting into and don't lie to yourself about whether or not you will make money. That's the big part.
Yep. There's the key.
If you're happy paying the embroidery machine lease just to have it to play, that is your life. Do it. I know I would
absolutely.
Be. But at the same time, there's some people who lie to themselves about it. We had this discussion before too. Back on the Embroidery Nerds stream last night. I got to catch a little bit of it. I was busy, so I didn't get all of it. But they were talking about the fallacies we have about embroidery when people tend to tell us to, hey, get into embroidery. And one of them that literally used to be in the ads was, hey, if you run this many hats a month, then you're paid for it. You're making money. And it's just like with no talk about overhead, no talk about supplies, no talk.
That's
so ridiculous.
That's every piece of equipment.
They're always just like, hey,
they come up with these amazing numbers. If you print 50 shirts, you've already paid for it. What? Bam, go ahead.
Not at all true. But that's the thing is like people lie to themselves about something being a profit center without thinking, hey, I now have to market this. I now have to know all the skills. I have to have all the supplies it takes to run this thing. I have to have the time. Also, whose hands will be on this machine during working hours that will actually be cranking this out?
Yeah.
That's where we have issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit a couple more comments quickly because we do have a question I want to get to here too. Right before we get. So Ramona says, I started in one bedroom, took two, then moved it all to the family room. Now I occupy the dining room and living room. We live in the family room now.
Home-based business.
And then Todd says, the sound of Eric's people. So Lisa says, we all had one jump into the booth one year. We had one jump into the booth one year. Felt like that sneaking crow cartoon trying to follow us into our booth. That's hilarious.
So a machine was like rattling its way towards you.
just walking its way over to you. Wow. And then Todd says it's like bad dubstep.
Oh no, you wish. It's like being in an old car on a washboard road is what it's like. You hear parts getting ready to fall off.
Yeah, exactly. And then Jeff says, it's as easy as just pushing two buttons and money comes out. It's that easy, right?
Load design, push start. No.
Make money. All right, Eric. So I'm not sure what you've got for us, but let's at least try here. So Andy, and here's the deal, guys. We're obviously having some fun. We want to talk about whatever. Bring questions to this, right? We're going to try to pack as much as we can into 30 minutes. So Andy, congratulations to you for taking action and making an ask. So let's find out what we can do here. She says, I picked up two older style Brother 9 and 12 head embroidery machines for an unbelievable price with all the bells and whistles. Uses an old floppy disk to installed. Any idea of finding the best place to learn more about these and troubleshooting? Thank you for your knowledge.
I'm going to be honest with you and say you have kind of a hard road ahead of you because the Brother commercial machines have been discontinued for some time. I really loved them and they ran well, but you're going to have some difficulty probably getting parts and repairs, stuff like that happening. Probably your best bet for learning more is going to be by the community. You're going to have to find people who are using these machines because there's not going to be a lot of official support. You should hopefully be able to find PDF versions of the manuals online. Do read through the entirety of the manuals, and a lot of the mechanisms that are on these machines are of course going to be the same as any other embroidery machine. So, the needle bar reciprocator hook, all the parts of the thread path in the head, and the pantographs, the belts, the motors are going to be very similar to any other machine. So a lot of the troubleshooting type stuff will be there. But when we're talking about operating the machine, you're definitely going to want to try and find a copy of the manual. It shouldn't be too super hard to find. But really, a lot of this is going to be community. It's going to be talking to other people, because there's not going to be a lot of official brother information out there, because they've been out of the realm of use for quite some time.
Okay. So maybe getting into, the embroidery nerds group and just asking around.
Absolutely. Embroidery nerd group. There's probably some folks there. Honestly, searching online, Google is your friend, because I know this from looking for stuff myself. Is so much back catalog of people discussing these things on forums and boards from back in the day, that's useful. But definitely get in social groups and see who else is using those machines. And definitely like I said, get your PDF copies of those manuals. They're usually somewhere scanned. Find those, read through the manuals and check them out, and learn generic embroidery knowledge on the machines. Because the biggest thing you're going to want to know, if you don't already know about embroidery, make sure you are very clear on the maintenance of the machines, on how to do all of your hooping and everything else. Tension issues. Yeah, tensioning should be a general thing. We want to clean our tensions, make sure our bobbin springs are cleaned. That's the biggest thing. Bobbin is the beginning of tension, especially if it's on all needles. But tension is something where there's not much difference in those machines to any other machine out there. The tension discs, the springs, everything else are going to be the same. Clean your thread path. Make sure it's nice and clean. Make sure everything is in working order. And I would say, by all means, some sort of tensioner, whether you get yourself a digital tensioner or just a pen tensioner, I would actually use a tensioning device if you have to end up retensioning that machine. Being able to have a reading that you can refer to is very useful.
Okay.
The latest digital one, bobbin gauge from TOA, allows you to do both bobbin and top tension on it, and those are pretty cool. But yeah, getting a tension gauge of some kind, even if it's just a pen gauge, which it looks like a little pen with a spring inside of it, would be helpful to learn. And then look at the tensions that are available from your machine or from your thread manufacturer. Will tell you, depending on what kind of threads you use, what the general guidelines for tension are. But yeah, clean thread path. Make sure for sure that the bobbin case is in good condition, and that there's no junk underneath your the kind of the spring, the leaf looking spring that holds the bobbin in tension.
Nice. Okay. Well, I just learned something new, Eric. I thought the reciprocators were just the people that listen to the take up. I didn't realize it was actually a machine.
No, it's a very important little hunk of plastic that if it's broken, the needle bars don't go up and down. That is it's a critical piece. And if you ding your hoop, if you drive your needle into your hoop and you hear a horrible crack sound and then the needle stopped going up and down, that's what happened. You've broken your reciprocator.
Gotcha. All right.
You will be taking the head off.
So what happens if you break the reciprocators of the take up? Can you?
I think they're already broken from having to listen to me talk too much.
You're too hard on yourself. All right. Well, Andy, I hope that is some helpful information for you. I believe it is, but yeah, get in there and just keep doing what you're doing. Keep asking, there is information out there.
I don't know a brother group off the top of my head. I'll have to be honest with you and say that back in the day, lots of people used them, but I don't know a group off the top of my head. Search for groups in social media, because I think other users are going to be your best shot, because they'll have already been continuing to run these over time.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. All right. And then we've got this one to kind of close it out. And so I think we can kind of give away the secret, Eric, right? We always love to have a little bit of fun in our clothes. Can we not give away the secret or not? Oh wait, no,
it's hard.
Mind.
It's hard. We can.
He's not.
We can give away secrets, because there's no secrets here. I like to think that we share everything, and that all information is good information for everybody.
All right. Well, then here you go. All information is good information. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Todd says it's only us here. What's the biggest POS beginner embroidery machine out there? I don't know if Justo was sharing one.
Read the friendly manuals, what that means, but friendly is not the word. That's not the word. So yeah, okay. Todd's question: it's only us here. What's the biggest POS embroidery machine out there? The first thing I'll say is one that's busted and you don't know it. So be careful buying used equipment because you have to make sure it's in really good working condition. Otherwise, the worst machine out there, hands down.
Always entertaining. We giggle at ourselves each week. Thank you guys for being here.
You thought you were going to get it.